Welcome back. In this video, we're going to be doing a cost breakdown of everything we've spent over the last month in Italy. We're also going to be giving Italy a rating as to whether you should come here or potentially visit another country. We started filming this video yesterday when the weather was pretty terrible. Now we're finishing it off and doing the intro today, so the weather is going to change halfway through, but hopefully the wind noise isn't too bad.
We're currently in Sicily, but this video is covering our costs and our view of the mainland of Italy.
So we've broken it down into categories. We've got food, ferries, maintenance, so that's things for the van and us, fuel, campsites, eating out, mobile data, tolls, and anything we spent in cash. So first up is food. This is things that we've bought like groceries. We've tried to shop as cheap as possible. We've gone for Lidl and Eurospin, which are the two cheapest shops in Europe, and we've spent on average 60 euros a week. So for over a month we have spent 295 euros on food, everything that we make and eat in the van.
Next up is ferry costs. We've had two ferries in this month. So our first one was from Dover to Cali, which was about £80, and then we had our ferry from Italy over to Sicily, which was £90, but that's for a return. So it was roughly about, just under £200 for ferry costs.
Okay, then next up we have maintenance. Maintenance is things that we've had to do to the van and things that we've had to do to ourselves to keep us healthy and on the road. We haven't included the window in this because we haven't got the new window yet, but when we do, it will be an extra probably 300 euros. When we broke down, we put AdBlue in the diesel tank, cost us 200 euros. Then we had some pharmacy visits because Amy was feeling a little bit unwell at the kind of midway through the month. And all of that together meant our maintenance cost was 281 euros. The big one, fuel. Fuel is probably the biggest expense we're going to have on this trip, especially since our MPG's dropped a little bit putting these new tyres on. But compared to these guys, our MPGs are still actually pretty good. So we've been averaging around 28 to 29 miles per gallon on this trip. Our total cost for fuel so far has been 702 euros. The fuel prices in Italy are, I think, similar to the UK. It's about €1.66. We used a lot more fuel this month because we had to go from England to Sicily in 1 month, whereas this next month we're going to be on Sicily only. So I imagine our fuel costs are going to be down as we're not doing so much driving.
So the next kind of area is campsites. So since we had been broken into, we've been on more campsites, which has been really nice. We've been to some absolutely lovely ones. So we spent €129.80 on campsites. Kind
of average from €9 a night. We've stayed on some that are 20 euros a night. All the campsite owners have been super friendly and they have showers, toilets, you can fill up your water. They often have Wi-Fi as well, which is really nice. So yeah, it's pretty low. It's lower than we thought it would be. And we find all our campsites on Park for Night.
Yeah. Next we have eating out. So we have done a little bit of eating out this month and we have spent around about 93 euros. So this was out for coffees, lunches, and then
trips to bakeries.
And then we've had a few nights out where we've went out for pizza. No McDonald's, no fast food.
No fast food,
yes.
Just the finest Italian cuisine. Mobile data and Wi-Fi. We probably made the mistake of not getting a Wi-Fi router when we came to Europe. We thought it'd be cheaper to do mobile data, and it is if you get unlimited and you use that for the month or the 30 days. We got 20 gig, followed by another 20 gig, and then went for unlimited. So we imagine as the trip goes on, this is going to get a little bit cheaper, but we probably should have got an unlimited Wi-Fi box because then we could have connected cameras to it and everything. But data is, we've not struggled for connection really anywhere. We've always been connected.
Sometimes a little bit slow, but apart from that, been okay.
And we're using more than we thought. So we're trying to upload to YouTube whenever we have Wi-Fi at a campsite or a restaurant or anything to keep the usage down. But you'll be surprised by how much you use. If you watch like a 2-hour film, you can easily use 4 or 5 gigabytes.
So that total is €125.84.
Okay, the next is tolls. We tried to stay off toll roads as much as we can because you can see way more of the country. You get much more interesting roads and good scenery. We did use tolls to get through France and Switzerland, and we've used a couple in Italy, just where we've had to cover a lot of miles quite quickly. And in Italy, the toll roads work out at around 10 cents per kilometre. And then cash. Cash is king here in Italy. We've never noticed it be such a huge thing in Spain or Portugal, anywhere in Northern Europe, but here, you have to carry cash.
Whenever somebody's given me I've given them the option of cash or card, they've always said cash.
So that brings our total for January. Now our budget was £1,200, and that was kind of on the higher end of our budget. We've spent €1,905, and with a breakdown, with the miles we've driven, with the data and making the wrong choice there, we're not too far off of where we would have liked to be.
Yeah, and I think especially since we had the break-in, we decided that we're gonna, if we're not here for as long as we hoped, but we have a great time while we're here, that's the most important thing. We would both much rather have a great time while we're here.
Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit of a rating on Italy. Italy, we're not entirely convinced on, we'll be completely honest. We've had amazing experiences, we've also had terrible experiences. And we're going to break it down into different categories and things because it's not all bad. Free park-ups. We found in Spain, Portugal, France, these were super reliable. You could leave the van there, go out for the whole day. You felt safe pretty much anywhere. With the free park-ups in Italy though, it's a real contrast. If you're in the mountains or really rural, they're actually pretty good. Like kind of 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10. Happy to leave the van, happy to sleep there.
A lot of them have like all your amenities for free as well. There was quite a lot that had free electricity, free water, free dump, free toilets, free showers, which was great.
But when you go to the coast, things change. The coast here with free park-ups really aren't great. They're really not safe, they're really not clean, they're really not that nice. It's difficult because you want to be at the coast with the heat, the sunshine, the sea, the dog walks. But really, I mean, the free park-ups on the coast, we're probably going to have to give a 2 out of 10. Not enjoyed. It's paid spots. So these are places you pay for. They're campsites, airs, private motorhome areas, restaurants where you can stay, pub stops. They're decent.
Yeah.
They're decent. We've stayed at some really, really nice ones. Met some really, really nice people, owners and other campers. They vary in cost from anywhere between €5 to €9, all the way up to 20. We've seen some that are €50 a night in August. The variability in price, but also the good ones we've stayed on, we're going to give these a 7 out of 10.
Next up is safety. So obviously for us, safety has definitely played a big part in our time here in Italy. Not been the most safe place that we've ever been to or ever felt that we can leave the van or go out and enjoy ourselves in the same way as we have done in some of the other countries that we've been to. A 4 out of 10.
Sort of, how would you say, ladies of the night. For people setting fire to things at the side of the road, like I don't know whether it was for warmth, whether it was like a bat signal. Italy is not the safest place.
You hear a lot of stories about people in Italy having issues with, especially being robbed in their campers. It's not just our experience that we could have passed off as a one-off, but you hear about it a lot of the time on Facebook groups and other pages as well.
Next up is fuel stations. There's no shortage of fuel stations in Italy. The only main difference is the fact that they are self-service. Like there's no one there, you go and use a machine, you scan your card. It normally doesn't fill the van up the whole way because it has like an €80 limit, 60 or 70 litres rather than the full 80.
You have like a self-service price and then you have a served price. So you'd pay an extra couple of cents a litre for somebody to fill it up for you.
Quite strange, but it is very common in the south of Europe.
So for value for money, we've gone for an 8 out of 10. It is much cheaper than the UK. Definitely not probably the cheapest country that we're going to visit on this trip.
The people, the Italian people, are very friendly, very, very helpful. Driving style and the parking We knew coming to Italy, especially the south of Italy, that it was going to be a lot worse. It's just much more chaotic. There's no systems. In the north, it is chaos, chaos, chaos. But in the south, there's much more of a rhythm and a flow to it. Everyone kind of understands that you're going to drive a bit chaos. So everyone expects the chaos. People don't expect you to stop and to think. You should just go. Even at roundabout stop signs, slip roads, it is you approach them with the mindset of I'm going, not I'm going to stop, look, and then go. The parking is pretty special. The parking is pretty terrible, especially in the towns and cities. It's just pull in, park where you want, put your hazards on. But we've seen that before in the south of Europe. We've seen it in other places. The roads as well. Everyone thinks the south of Italy, the roads are going to be really terrible, but they're really not that bad. I mean, some of them are pretty bad, but it's no worse than what you see in the UK these days. And to be honest, the worst country for roads that we've been to so far has been Belgium.
And the food. Italian food is renowned. We have eaten out probably more on this trip than we have on any of our previous trips. We're going to give the food a 10 out of 10. Those places that we go to, the locals eat at, it's good food. We've mainly had pizza.
But it's been seriously good pizza. Fresh dough, fresh ingredients, stone baked pizza.
We have tried some of the local cuisine in different areas, such as Venice or Fano.
Travelling with a dog. So far, Italy has been super dog friendly.
Super dog friendly.
Super dog friendly. We've obviously not been to many countries with the dog yet, but from what we've seen, we've been able to take her everywhere. She's been off lead pretty much everywhere. All the campsites have been totally fine with dogs.
Water bowls around the place in the cities or towns. When you do take a dog on public transport, they should have a muzzle. Do have a right to refuse a dog if they choose to. But I mean, we've not muzzled her, and we've not had any kind of questions about it. And yeah, we've not had any issues taking the dog anywhere in Italy.
What you read online will say one thing, but what you actually experience is something completely different. But so far, Italy dog friendliness, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. So the overall rating we're giving to Italy is a 6 out of 10. Like, it's good and it's really beautiful and the people are lovely and the food's amazing and the scenery is great, but you always feel slightly on edge. Would we come back?
I would come back. I think I would come back for specific things. What I've found is that Italy's had the highest highs and kind of the lowest lows that we've had while travelling.
So if you're thinking of coming to Italy, do it, but just be careful.